Bringing it
Brought
to
to you
zero.
by Roma Wine, R-O-M-A, the wine America loves. It's Late Night Mike with Mike Williamson.
May I introduce my sidekick and co-pilot, the
Hello,
lovely,
hello,
the
hello.
talented Brady Lee! Welcome aboard and good night to you.
How are you, sir?
I'm good,
Yeah,
thank you,
yeah.
and you?
Good. I'm good.
Now I want you to imagine, if you will,
Oh, I will.
the erudition of Dick Cavett, combined with the versatility of Merv Griffin, combined with the everyman appeal of Mike Douglas, combined with the comic tone of the great Johnny Carson.
The great one.
I don't have any of those things. I'm trying out a new cologne tonight. I don't know if you happen to notice.
Oh, I noticed.
Stable Genius by Calvin Klein. Makes you smell like you're really smart.
Not fake news now, is it? All
So this is a football household, right?
right. Oh, yeah.
Super Bowl matchup exciting to anybody? Eagles or Patriots?
Eagles.
Would I rather be shot or stabbed? It doesn't. The Patriots, I'm sick of them already. Too much. If there's such a thing as so much winning, this is too much winning. Enough already with the Patriots. You know what I'm saying?
They're cheaters too.
That's so
Yeah,
true.
but what about the Bulls?
Happy New Year to everybody!
Happy New Year.
sir.
Here we are, like a month into 2018. El Salvador is going to be observing a new holiday this year.
Are they?
Yes, celebrating their friendship with the United States. It's going to be Cinco de Shithole. I'm so proud to be an American. 2017, that was some year.
It was
wasn't it?
something, wasn't it?
I mean, did Anthony Scaramucci, did that really? I can't believe it. I mean, he's going to write his White House memoirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be called 10 Days That Schnooked the World. You can look that up.
I'll be doing that on the break.
It's a real gift. Oh, Sebastian Gorka. He's gonna be writing memoirs too. I don't know what it's gonna be called, but I'm so enthralled by his accent, I'm just gonna wait for the book on tape.
Fire!
Well, the year 2017 kind of ended on a sour note, though, with the passage of the tax bill. I mean, despite your best efforts and all. But we did learn something very important.
What was that?
Well, we learned that there's no such thing as deficit hawks. There are none. And I'm not just talking about in Congress. I'm talking about the whole country. There are no deficit hawks. There are, however, lots of deficit racists. Because when a black president is running the deficit, people are beside themselves with anger. But when a white president is running a deficit, total silence. Isn't it? That wasn't supposed to be all that funny. Now, I think 2017 will go down as the year of a collective awakening about sexual assault. And that's obviously a good thing.
The Me Too movement?
Yes, of course. And Harvey Weinstein was kind of the tipping point, I guess. But for me, the turning point was really the Taylor Swift case. Remember that?
I did.
So
Yes, I heard about that.
she had done
A photograph?
yes,
Photograph?
an event and a
Fan
photograph
photograph?
with a radio personality, and she accused him of groping, and the radio station let him go, and he sued the radio station and her. He had the nerve to sue her as well.
Takes nerve.
And she turned that case on its ear.
She did.
She testified forcefully and explained how she was posing for a photo with him, he had lifted up the back of her dress and groped her bare ass. And my only question is, how did he find it? Because she's so skinny.
He's like a president has real tiny hands.
I hope the girther movement takes off. I really do. Where Trump is concerned, I don't think BMI is TMI. Do you?
The girther movement, that's something.
Yes. I didn't invent the hashtag. I mean,
Yes, Mike?
oh, of course, I can see them. I like the interaction with the audience. Did you hear that the doomsday clock has advanced 30 seconds closer to the apocalyptic midnight?
Wow.
Have you heard that?
I had
Just a
not.
few days ago. I have this idea for a doomsday clock radio. Where in the event of a nuclear apocalypse, it will gently wake and of course there'll be, a little charging port for your iPhone.
Is there a snooze?
Sure. I'm going to test market it in Hawaii. Are there any economists in the audience? Has sort of created a new area of study in that particular field, and it's called "Don't Get High Off Your Own Supply Side Economics." Kind of its own version of trickle down. The invisible hand job. So I don't know if you realize that in my other life, I do accounting work.
No.
Yes, it's true. I do.
No.
As a matter of fact, I'm in insurance accounting. Like, could you possibly combine two more exciting fields than insurance and accounting? You wouldn't think so. You wouldn't think so. And I've only taken 2 accounting courses in college. See what I am a practitioner of Zen accounting. Does it feel like it's in bed? That's close enough for government.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, absolutely.
So I hear that Kenya, Mikey's dog, had a birthday recently.
She did.
How do you celebrate?
With a dog food birthday cake.
I think my husband makes those too.
Oh! Good one! Good one! What's the occasion?
Oh, every 7 years or so.
Oh, that's a good one.
Am I right, ladies?
recently speaking to a retiree on the telephone, a state retiree, and I was trying to convey to her that I was happy she won her appeal and she got her coverage back. And I said, I like happy endings.
How happy was it?
Is Trevor giving you a call?
It seems to me, have you heard about this Jeffrey Melnick guy?
Jeffrey Melnick.
Yes.
No.
Because I think, this just occurred to me the other day, I think the Jeffrey Melnick obituary is the first known recorded instance of fake news. Good stuff, huh?
Yeah.
So, that's the show, right?
We got a good Yep, thanks for coming, everybody.
Hey, where's my water? Where's my water?
There's one right there.
Producer.
There's one right there.
Where's your producer?
Hey, producer, shouldn't the producer tell them when to
He
go to
should.
commercial?
Let's go to commercial.
Water. So I'm
We
fine
don't
with
know who's
I'm
in.
fine with starting
No,
a
no.
new one, but someone is.
I'm not telling the guests.
So we'll be ready for our guests in just a
Yeah,
moment.
we got a big show tonight, don't we?
All sit back and
Big show tonight.
You gotta-
enjoy the show. We'll be right back after this commercial message. So I'm so excited about our next guest.
Who do we
We've been
really
trying to
have?
book this person forever.
She's hard to get.
She is hard to get.
Yeah.
You know,
I haven't seen her since the Acties.
That's right. It's been that long.
Yeah.
She is an activist, an artist. She is just remarkably creative and inventive, and I'm just so pleased to have her on the show tonight, Anna
We've met, I believe, at the Acties.
Oh, what a night that was!
Yeah,
I
That
was
was
in the
amazing.
nosebleed seats.
I saw you waved, so.
We waved.
Well, welcome. It's
Thank you.
such an honor to have you on the show.
And thank you so much for having me. And I wanted to say before we start, Scarlett Johansson says hello.
Whoa! I'm done. I gotta go. Oh my God, work to do.
She says to tell you she never had as much fun on a talk show as she had on yours.
Well,
I'm not surprised. It's the mugs.
the only amazing thing is that last weekend, for the first time ever, I watched Under the Skin. Have you seen that?
Oh my!
Oh,
that is one of
my
my favorite movies.
It's actually very trippy.
It is
Yeah,
very
fabulous. Fabulous.
Yeah.
But God, that's an interesting coincidence.
Yes, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah. So anyway, your show is known for being one of the best.
Ah, you're too-
So we've got some guests this evening.
What are you working on these days? What are you up to?
I have a bunch of projects, kind of, that I'm working on. The thing about the climate today, it changes from day to day.
Sure.
So you have to be ready to just change gears immediately.
You do. This is
So
true.
yes, so there's sort of an ongoing theme, in my work, which is the awareness, just getting awareness out there for people, things like voter suppression and
Very
things
important.
like that.
Very important.
Right, and then of course there's the immediate explosions on Twitter that I don't know if you do Twitter.
Oh, I tweet.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I tweet.
It's worth following people who tweet regularly because they're the ones that kind of that's a better source of news.
Sure.
I find.
You really get the pulse
There
of
you
what's
go.
going
You
on.
get
There-
what's happening in the moment.
Yeah.
Um,
They're like the canary in the mine shaft, right?
That's right.
That's
Hey-o!
Hey, Freddie! Freddie, are you Arnie? Are you Jack?
Coal mine!
Oh my!
I'll explain later.
So tell me about your process. Yes, you have to be ready at a moment's notice to react to a sudden event that is. But I mean, do you have this idea, and then you go hunt for the piece of art, or?
I know what's on my mind. I go out and look at Google Images. They're out there.
Aha.
It's amazing.
I look up. It's sort of like stream of consciousness, and it's sometimes what I go looking for, the idea I have, that just falls by the wayside. It's whatever comes up. That's usually how it works. It's sort of, it's not what I planned. I go in with an idea and I end up doing something completely different.
Okay, that's fascinating. You know, I cannot wait until you give the porn star the classical art treatment.
That's an idea. I've done classical art, and I've done. Oh boy.
What's in the bag? What's in the bag? You'll come back.
There's.
Can we get a drum roll?
What exactly is he doing?
Can we get a drum roll, please?
Hold on.
Yes, the band, the house band. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I couldn't.
Are you drinking again?
Yeah. Are you good?
I'm good.
So it's his set.
The porn star.
I've done a number of other iterations, but I think that's a brilliant. I don't know if you had somebody in mind.
Oh no. You could use the
Yeah,
Stormy.
are you
Just
familiar
use
with a lot of porn
Just use the
stars,
Stormy person, right?
She
You mean the artwork? Do I have the artwork in mind?
I was either one.
No.
Either
Oh,
one.
no.
Any
No,
favorites
that's-
in that arena,
Stormy.
Mikey? Anything you want to share with 4 million people?
Right now. No. Okay. So, but anything right at this moment?
Right at this moment, I'm still. I'm always focused on the Black Lives Matter
Okay.
hashtag issue. It's ongoing.
Annie, did you take an in?
Oh, absolutely.
I believe I saw the review.
That's right. That's right. My sister and I both
Beautiful
we
woman.
tweeted it. My sister's
It's a
amazing.
really stunning picture. You should check it out.
She was also at the Emmys. You may have seen her there.
Oh,
Yeah.
cute little brunette.
Oh, yeah, very cute.
Oh, I
Very
remember
cute.
her.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. We were seated sort of near Meryl Streep, which was awkward because. And I keep thinking like her year is
It'll
next year.
happen. It'll happen.
This was
Oh,
our
she's
year,
won
but
plenty of times before. Yeah.
not the actress.
Well, that's true.
We've kind of owned the acting. So my
These-
sister and I. So
These professional rivalries, they can be difficult.
It's,
to...
we had, Meryl and I arm wrestled for the right to punch Donald Trump. And we had to call it a draw because we both wanted it so bad. So, since
Speaking of Black Lives Matter, did you hear the Bill Maher joke? It was terrific. He said, next month is Black History Month,
It
correct?
is. It is.
Or as it's known in the Trump White House, every month matters. Bill and I are in the business, and I like to give credit for
yeah, no, that is a good.
Yeah.
This White House has given us more opportunities for humor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but they have given us more opportunities for energetic optimism and humor than probably any that's certainly in my memory.
So, we will pick this up in just a moment. I have more questions to ask about the artwork before we move on to other things, because I want to know the mind.
Oh, are you sure you want to go there?
I do want to go there. 2 and 2.
It's a tough one.
That's a toughie.
I've considered changing it, but you know.
No, don't do
I
that.
don't
Don't
think so.
change a thing.
Exactly.
So
Accounting, you say?
I can notice, as a creative person, that you use a lot of Apple products, do you not?
I do. I'm not really I mean, I don't get paid to endorse those products, but yes, I do use them.
And why do you do that? Why do you use them?
I have found them to be the least buggy for graphic work.
Okay, so they don't get in the way between you and the creative process.
Not at all. Not at all. No. No. I haven't had problems.
Not at all.
I
Not
think,
at all.
I don't know. Something you want to
I
share
know
with
it's
us?
No,
just-
Mike?
as a semi-creative person myself, I don't want to, I don't want to be troubleshooting and a registry. What the hell is that? What am I buying, a wedding gift or something? No, when I want to work, I want to work. So
That's Apple products for me have they have the best resolution. That's a big part of it for me. Is
Except for
having-
the keyboard.
Whoa! It had to go there.
Had some problems, I will confess.
Oh.
The
Had
keyboards.
some problems.
that's fair. That's
Yeah,
fair.
that is
Fair.
fair.
Yeah.
That is fair. Because that's a pretty basic thing you want to have to not worry about. So I'll grant you that, Jeff. Other than that, though, I think in terms of graphic interface, I can't say enough about Apple products.
Now, I can't speak for you, but eventually, for me, I came at peace with the other creative. Have you done the same? I mean, the fact that it's an arm and a leg for.
There is that. The last upgrade, when I upgraded my laptop and my phone and realized that I needed 7,000 adapters. At that moment, I actually had a kind of like, maybe I shouldn't
Right.
be doing this.
No,
I'm assuming everything will catch up,
I can.
but
I can really.
yeah, there's.
Yep.
It is a little problematic, and it feels a little manipulative. I feel a little bit like I'm being played, but I'm sticking with it for the time being.
Is there going to be a piece of art about this?
Boy, that would be.
Would we like to
You
see a
have
piece
to-
of art about
Yeah, tell me about it.
Samsung.
Oh, we're back and forth all the time.
Yeah, your producer is not an Apple fan.
No, he's not.
Yes, we exchanged a few words about that before the show, and it didn't get too ugly, but it can get pretty
Heated.
Oh, sure.
It can get
It gets
heated.
heated.
It's
Exactly.
okay, Anna. I own some shares.
There you go. See,
And everybody loves
he's all about the bucks.
Yeah.
it. Everybody
Exactly.
loves it.
If you want
Jean-Paul Sartre. Ever heard of him? Ever read it?
No.
Well, it's a play.
I know it's a play.
For English class?
No, it's someone else's house. I saw it and thought, I should read this, and then set it down.
Not
So-
always the way.
Sartre wrote this play about a man who is trapped in a room with people carefully selected to torment him for eternity. What three people would constitute your existential hell? An album? The first person in my existential hell would be my mother. Now, I loved my mother, but if I was trapped in a room for eternity with my mother, it would drive me nuts.
You're weird.
Well, we've established that.
Now, the second person, I don't know if you've heard of him, is Jim Cleary. I had to spend all eternity listening to the same stories and the same jokes and the rolling up the pants. Did you see that twitch? See that? I think I got carbon monoxide poisoning.
Sounds like another night on the set here.
Oh! Somebody stop her! Now the third person is kind of a floater, It's not permanent. It just depends on that particular point in my life, and right now it would be my supervisor at work.
I mean, you're being supervised, you're being mothered, and you've got the Tourette's.
That covers
Covers all
that
bases.
would be
Yeah.
that would be a punishment. Do you see? So that
Yes.
would be a good
And
existential.
hell is other people.
Yes. So your existential.
Oh boy.
Interesting.
It's almost harder for me to think of 3 people I'd like to be with. Yeah, it is. Not to be bitter, but when I look around, yeah, boy, the 3 worst people.
People, they're the worst, right? Am I right?
We need a t-shirt.
Hey, a toast to that.
Hope I'm not
Hey,
grabbing your mug
pick it up,
there.
pick it up,
Hey,
pick it up,
those
pick
are
it
yours.
There we go.
This
there we go.
always invited.
People are the worst. Okay, so I'm sorry to interrupt. Your existential hell.
Boy,
Logan, you be thinking.
Oh.
the mom thing seems like a good placeholder. Not because we all love our moms, but right.
They know what buttons to push, don't they?
Yes, exactly. God, I hate to go there.
No.
But you know who I'm thinking.
No, I
know
don't.
who
But
you're
go there,
thinking.
go there.
I know.
45.
Yeah.
Look, do you want to trade channel?
Yeah, and he uses up so much airtime, he kind of takes up 2 spots, but that's cheating.
Yeah.
That's cheating to not use a third. Boy,
That's a toughie.
that is a toughie because I'm sort of torn between the public figure and the private torment.
Right.
I've got a staff that I just they're all off there. I see you.
I love it. I love this guy.
Weren't them like it's almost like throw a dart at the front page. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Oh, Paul Ryan.
I was thinking Mike Pence with his.
Right.
Partly I'm just a little too influenced by people's demeanor. I shouldn't let that get to me, but some of those guys have the most sanctimonious faces.
Don't
It's just
they?
I can't stand the thought of looking at those free turns.
Oh.
So
Well, you're used to working with the beautiful people.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
As
I
an
am. I
actress,
have that.
I mean-
I have that going positive part. So I'm more struck by the negative. Yes. Luckily, we here have beautiful people.
Oh, so beautiful. Okay, are you kidding? I'm gone. You know what? In fact, I had trouble deciding on what clip-on tie I was going to use because I didn't know if I was going to do a wardrobe change because I love this one. I just think this
And you're a Miami Vice fan from way back, are you not, Anna?
Way back. I love that
Way
show.
back.
The first
Ready?
season.
Can we get our
Look at
producer?
that.
Can we get our producer up here?
Blood one.
Seriously, the pastels. There's a series, Miami Vice Flash.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's the teal. Remember when teal was? Actually, you got teal on that one too. Yeah. We're hip. We're hip.
Doesn't he look handsome?
You don't get so.
So, Logan.
Mother. And with the political climate today, I'm going to have to go with 45, and then I'm going to go with Paul Ryan.
Yes,
That's
perfect.
That alone. And the Eddie Munster colored hair thing is just,
yeah, sanctimonious.
And you know what's funny is if you look at someone and you know something good about them, you know they're good people, they looked completely different. Sarah Sanders, under other circumstances, would be a lovely person, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sarah Sanders in our reality looks like a football player who's I don't know. Were she not so nasty, I wouldn't do that.
Right. All right.
And I think to round out my hell, it just occurred to me, Kellyanne.
Okay, so wow, that was great. I almost don't want to have any other guests on, you know?
We could talk for hours.
We could do, we can always do this again, another show. I'm always happy to come on your show. Like Scarlett said, this is the place to be.
Yeah, it's just it kind of went
Scarlett
like that
said,
too.
Mhm.
Okay, so we have more guests lined up. Did you have to go, or you?
No, I can hang out.
Oh,
I can
excellent,
hang out. I'll
excellent.
just wait
Okay.
off stage and.
Fantastic. Okay, then we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we're back. Anne, I'm so glad you returned because I wasn't.
We
quite
almost
at it.
lost her.
I had another question for you. Well, first, real quick, what are you reading these days?
What am I reading?
Yes.
I am actually reading right now The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte.
Oh.
Which I know that sounds really pretentious and silly, but it's really good, and it appears to be one of the first feminist novels. It's
Wow.
really good, and I just picked it
Wow.
up because I needed something to read and I grabbed it. That's
Okay.
what-
Okay.
So that's what I'm reading right now.
Oh, excellent.
How about you?
Well, I just finished a book about the Dulles brothers, John Foster and Allen. One was Secretary of State, one was the first director of the CIA. Who served at the same time. They're responsible for the foreign policy philosophy that the United States pursued, which for the longest time, which had a lot to do with promoting global economic intervention.
Boy, Mikey,
They were
that's
wow.
heavy.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
And so I finished that recently, and I haven't started, but I'm finally going to get around to reading the Isaac biography of Jobs. And I know you probably know, you didn't read that, years ago. No, I'm just now starting to get around to it.
The time is right.
Yeah.
I can say what I was reading. I just flashed on when you were talking about topical things.
Mhm.
What I read before Anne Bronte,
Yes.
Fire and Fury. I almost am ashamed to mention it because it's pretty easy reading. I mean, it's printed on some kind of flimsy paper. It feels like it was really rushed out.
Sure.
So I feel
Surely
it's a
it
guilty
was.
pleasure.
Okay.
But having said that, it is well written and it is really, really fun. It's just
I saw a book on C-SPAN book notes over the last weekend, and I was impressed by him actually.
that's why I read it, because I saw him interviewed and I thought that he is a journalist. He
Yes.
actually did the work. He
Mhm.
put in the time. I think they did kind of rush to get the book out,
Sure.
probably before everyone gets indicted.
Yeah.
But it's definitely funny. And it really kind of explains some stuff to me.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good to know.
So
Yeah.
you're one of the few people that I think I can ask this. Fra Lippo. So,
The painter you're talking about.
well, no.
Okay.
I'm talking about, it is see, I'm working on a song. It's not going to be the song I perform later tonight.
Okay.
I've been working on this particular song, and I was thinking maybe we could collaborate. Because I only have part of it done, so here.
Would we like to see them
Oh,
collaborate?
yeah, we would.
Yes,
Yeah, we would.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it starts off with kind of almost a cheer intro. Like, oh, Mickey, you're so fine. So,
Maybe.
fra, lippo, lippy, fra, lippo, lippo, hey! Fra, lippo, lippo. It's a poem by Robert Brown, and yeah, the title is kind of funny sounding. But you know what? I like it a lot. Yes. Yep.
Is it related to the painter?
It must be.
Because I've actually used that painter's work.
Oh!
Yes, so that's what I thought you were referring to. So
Okay.
I'm
So,
very curious.
am I hearing There's a collaboration.
I think there
coming up.
could be.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Will it debut here on Labor Day?
I
Of
can't
course.
think of a better place.
Me either.
Yeah, so-
Nice.
Okay.
You're on.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a deal.
Yeah.
It's a deal.
You got
Okay,
it.
thanks for coming back. I just wanted to ask you about that.
You betcha.
And we have a special guest from maybe the San Diego Zoo or something like that, I think, coming up next. So thanks
We
again
have a
for
couple
coming
special
back.
guests, I think.
Yeah, we got more. We got more of the show. We'll see you soon. We'll be right back. Oh, you gotta have a no. You gotta have And we are back.
We are back. So I think there's something exciting in store for you there, Mike.
What's that?
Well, we have an animal handler from the Queensland National Zoo.
Get out.
Well, and one of her little guests might have just visited us, but I
that
don't
a-
think that's who she's.
Was that a streaking episode? Those get wonderful.
Well, wait,
Hello,
wait,
hey,
back
you.
for a reason.
Hey, you.
Mike.
I've got a producer. Don't you know that? Okay, let's bring her on. What is her name?
Yes.
Good day, mate.
Good day, Mike. Thank you for having me back.
Look out, Mike, it's a dingo.
It's not
Is
the
gonna eat your baby?
dingo. No, this is not the dingo.
What is it?
No. Well, I'm sure you're familiar with the kangaroo that's native to Australia.
Yeah.
This here is a miniature kangaroo.
Oh!
They're very rare.
Is it okay?
Very rare. You just didn't know you're gonna touch him, but yeah, he's a little shy.
Is it, are they? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, he's a little shy. They're very elusive. Very elusive, very
I've
shy.
never seen one
Most
before.
people have not ever seen one. So he's
Where's the
Where's
pouch?
his, where's his pouch?
he's a male.
Oh,
All right, so
Yeah.
just look at the kangaroo, the five size. The miniature, the males don't have. Yes, pouches are for gestation and for nursing. Yeah.
Sure. Although I'd like a pouch.
They nurse
Sure.
it.
Who wants like that?
On Sundays.
So he's a male. So that's the one. I didn't get to bring you one with a
Does
pouch.
he bite?
He does not bite. He's shy. You can see he's timid. He was abandoned by his mother. So
So will he ever go back into the wild?
no, he's not. This little guy is an educational tool, and we take him around to schools and to shows like that. I know.
Well,
you're a
clearly
good
you
boy.
two are bonded.
Well, yeah, he's a good teaching tool, and unfortunately can't be released into the world. But the fact that we have one to show is
Pretty amazing.
Pretty
I have
amazing.
Yes.
never seen one. Have you, Mike?
that's
No, I haven't.
he's
Did
the only
you?
one in captivity, and yeah, he's the only. I know you're the only one, and so he helps
Well,
us.
now-
I think he likes
I don't want to assume, but at Queensland Zoo or
Yes.
is it
so-
going to be donated
okay.
to other? What the?
Is the audience could please not taunt?
We're not, now the audience is not supposed to be feeding the animals. Is that
That's
correct?
right. That's right. You
Is
can
this
you
all
can
right?
you can feed
Is
him
this
that.
all right?
It's all right. He's
He's really straining there.
They
isn't
are
he?
they are omnivores. So they
Whoa!
eat.
Oh my goodness!
He's quite savage.
Oh, yes.
He's quite savage.
I don't know if you at home saw those.
Let's
Oh, my
let's put
word.
another shrimp on the barbie.
They are wild animals. They're not pet. But he's not a pet. He's not a pet. He's definitely a wild animal, and so we don't want people to think you can have these as pets and try to go find them. They're definitely not meant to be domestic.
Okay. Now, would you ever consider donating it to another zoo for a brief period of time?
You mean for breeding?
So suppose somebody from this neck of the woods.
Seattle.
We have done some lending programs.
Lending is what I meant.
Yeah, like you lend to another zoo. He's not a breeding because he's no longer intact.
Oh, I didn't get a good
That makes two of us.
Very good.
Oh!
the lights and everything are
It's
very.
not gonna piddle.
But
Is it?
he's used to some of this outreach because he does it all the time. But he's definitely, you know, he's more comfortable. He's more comfortable when he's in his own environment, which is this is a little, you know. But he's
So
definitely.
why do they lick?
It's you know it's an instinctive behavior, and it's
In the wild, what would this do for him?
this is how we get nutrition.
Anything you want.
or that, or that.
Oh, Mike.
They like salt, you know, and they
You like what?
salt,
Oh, salt.
and they're omnivores, so
She's
they'll eat
Australian.
anything. They'll eat anything,
Okay.
really. So you know, I mean, in the world they'll eat what's there. That's one thing we have to be careful with is that people try to feed him. He'll eat anything they feed him.
Like pieces of cheese from the floor, maybe.
Exactly, or a cigarette. He'd probably try to eat this if I gave it to him. So I'm not going to.
Okay.
Yes, but it's important that he's out in as an ambassador to you know let people know we have to protect habitat and we have to protect you know the world. And,
Excuse me.
Sure.
Is his habitat?
He's Australian. He's Australian, same as the kangaroo.
Is it disappearing? Is he endangered? Is this little guy
Well,
endangered?
They're not endangered per se because they're not hunted or anything like that. But they're so rare that there's just not there's not a lot of
You've
of
got a
wiggle
rowdy
room.
audience tonight, Mike.
You have. We call kangaroos in Australia. We call them roo. Roos.
Right.
It's a roo. So we call these guys roulettes.
Oh! Love it.
You put it on black.
There you go.
You can tell your friends you've seen a roulette.
Yes, I
They probably
will.
won't believe it because it's so rare, but this you have seen one.
I have.
Yep.
I-
And hopefully your children will get to see one too.
Ah, there we go. Thank you.
Well, it's nice meeting you, Roulette.
Good boy.
And thank you for being so well
Oh,
behaved.
he's a good boy.
He's better
Welcome-
behaved than the audience.
Welcome to
isn't he,
America,
Mike?
mate. Yes! Now, do you have any more?
This is the only fellow I brought because he's just sort of high maintenance. You have to really keep an eye on him. He's very wiggly.
I
They're
can
very
see.
Very wiggly.
Yeah. So that combined with the bouts of terror, he'll take off in a moment. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on him. So yes, he's the only little one I brought today.
Okay. Well, Anna, thank you for
Thank you for
coming out for the
educating us on the
swing.
roulette, Mike.
Roulette.
It's a
That was
roulette.
fun and fascinating.
Yes,
Thank you
it
so
was.
much.
Thank you.
So, we will be back in tour 2.
We are back again, Mike.
Show business is
The
exhausting.
show's gotta go on. Gotta go on.
Well, how about this for a change of pace? We are going to have a detective on the show, and we're going to be talking about a case.
A detective?
A
you say?
detective. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm fascinated by true crime.
Oh, yes.
So,
Yes.
without further ado, Detective Anna Muma!
You're not going to arrest me, are you? All right.
You do a lot of talk shows,
Rowdy-
detective?
You know I don't. This is all a little out of my element. I don't usually talk about ongoing cases, and I don't usually talk on camera. So this is a little.
Well, what makes this case so different?
The thing about this case, now this is an ongoing investigation, so there's some things I can't talk about. But what makes
But you
it,
could whisper.
Mikey, if anybody
That's Mike. That's part of what fascinates people about crime, I think, is the idea that there's an answer out there, and somebody knows what happened.
Right.
Indeed.
Why can we not answer that question? And in this case, this is a very cold case, and I think that is really fascinates people even more because it's an answer that's been out there for a long time. Why has it not been answered? So what I'm working on right now, let's see, it's 1967 is when the body was found. So
Ooh.
that's
Fifty-
Was that
51 years.
that's a long
That
time.
is a long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is this your specialty, cold cases?
It's what I prefer to work on.
Wow, really?
Yeah. It is, and you know why? Because people often will give up on those families. Those families still need answers, and it could be 50 years, it could be 10 years, whatever. It's those people still need to know what happened to their loved one.
Now, does anybody work on cold cases that you were not able to solve?
There is a, I don't know if you're aware on the internet of Web Sleuth.
No, never heard of it.
There's a whole body of researchers out there, freelance researchers on the internet, and the police are, they have mixed feelings about this. I'm all for it.
Is it people like
It's
you
every,
and me?
exactly.
Mike and me? Not you.
If I could get some service.
Well, that's
When
a
you have
problem.
internet.
Oh, wait, I've got my LTE. I've got my 4, what is that?
4G.
4G,
You got some
LTE.
G's going?
Okay, so
Way
I'm sorry,
back. West Side.
so never flash the case.
I'm trying to-
Bad
That's
idea.
probably,
Yeah.
ooh.
That never happened. So, okay, so this, what did you say, Web Sleuth?
Web Sleuths,
Okay.
and it's part of a network of just everyday people who want to solve crimes, and they have actually helped solve crimes.
Okay.
It's part of, there's social media, there's just all of the internet resources. It's really helped police solve crimes. It's also helped everyday citizens jump in and help.
Excellent,
So-
excellent. Well, Late Night Mike is a public service chief, so we're here to help.
What about the case he's working on?
The case I'm working on right now, I have an informant, and I don't want to say too much because, like I said, this is an ongoing investigation. But this is an informant who has been incarcerated. I can sort of say that, not in prison, but otherwise incarcerated for a number of years, and has begun a correspondence with me. And that sometimes happens. People see your name in the paper, they see you on television, they reach out. They're not willing to talk to the police, but they'll talk to you.
Oh, well, I'm sure there are people watching tonight who might be reaching out.
There, it has happened before. I've appeared on a show or on a radio program and gotten a tip, and it happens. It happens. So the case that I'm working on now came to me by way of a knowledgeable participant reaching out to me. And I don't want to say too much. I don't want to give away who that is, but we've established trust, and we'll see where it takes us.
All right, knowledgeable participant.
Knowledgeable
this is someone-
participant. I wish I could be so lucky.
So I mean,
Just
that
trying
could,
to
but that
bring
could
some
be,
levity.
That could be anything, right? That could be somebody who
apologies,
was
Detective.
somebody that witnessed the crime, or somebody
Exactly.
that was intimately involved with someone that
Right.
was involved with
You
the
know,
crime.
you get called up and you get asked to provide information about an incident
Mhm.
that you may have witnessed.
Right.
You don't know
Could
whether
happen
you're
at
the
work.
It could happen. Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, so that happens all the time.
When or where that call's gonna come from, you don't know.
You don't
It could
know.
be HR.
It could exactly. It could be the information comes from any number of sources, and you can't be blind to any of them. You have to be willing to listen to everything that comes. from
Okay,
it.
now, but when detectives are working a case and they're interviewing a person of interest, one way that they, especially if it's someone that's offering information, they'll ask. Obviously, they can't reveal everything about the case, but they'll try and ask questions correct of that only the perpetrator would
Exactly.
know.
Which is one reason I'm being sort of a little bit tight-lipped here, is I don't want to give anything away that would compromise the investigation, and that is very easy to do. People can read things in the newspaper, see things, from a long time ago, and they
Sure.
can spin a pretty good tale. And that's what we want to avoid. So, and you don't ask leading questions. That's something that it's got some press
Remember
lately.
that, Mike.
I'm tough.
Well, in your line
It's
of
my
work,
job.
All
Exactly.
right.
in your line of work, it's okay. In my line of work, no. because what happens is you get false confessions, and that's in
Yes.
that's in the news right now
Sure.
a lot. That it's possible to convince people that they've committed horrible crimes, and we don't want to do that. That's
Right.
not what we're trying to do here.
Mhm.
We are trying to find out who actually is guilty of a crime, no matter how long ago. So yeah, it's a tightrope.
I bet.
It's yeah.
How long, let's say this particular person, do you cultivate this person before you begin to trust him or her?
It's
Imagine
all-
it's a process.
It's a process, and it's actually more about getting him or her
Mhm.
to trust me. Because you can usually tell. You can usually tell if the information you're getting is legitimate. For me, they don't know me from anyone. So they know I'm a detective, they've seen me on TV, whatever, they contact me. That's when I need to be judgment-free. I need to just let them tell me what they want to tell me. Sometimes it has nothing to do with the case to start with. It's forming those relationships.
Okay. So, do you work only cold cases in your jurisdiction, or are you available for,
I'm
is your expertise such that other jurisdictions reach out to
I
you?
am not tied, because I'm private, I'm not tied to any jurisdiction,
Oh, I see.
which is, does hamper police. Often the different law enforcement agencies are excluded from participating in some ways because of
Right.
jurisdiction. I'm not. By the same token, I'm not a member of a police force per se, so I have to have their willingness to work with me or to have me help them. So that's another relationship you have to
Right.
foster.
Do you always get that? Do you always get that?
Not always, but I have found the more I do this, the more those relationships come back, and you reach out to somebody you've reached out before. They know it's basically trust on both sides. If they trust you, they'll tell you anything.
What was the most satisfying cold case that you resolved?
Boy, that's a tough question. You know, there's a lot of cases I've worked on behind the scenes. Not always cold cases either. I don't want to give away too much, but Green River Killer, Ted Bundy, BTK. Without saying too much, I was an active part of all of those investigations.
Wow.
Yes, and that it's history in the making, and I don't want to, like I say, I don't want to give away too much, but that's.
Do you know Ann Rule?
I do know Ann Rule. She passed away.
Stranger beside me.
She did?
She was.
Yes, Ann Rule has left us.
I didn't know that.
It's your producer. Really, it's
Your producer isn't doing you any justice.
Who shot Kennedy?
Lee Harvey Oswald shot. And I know that's not what the answer people
That
want to
is
hear,
no
but
whoa.
I think, there's an entire industry built around that.
There's a great movie, Clay Pigeons. Do you agree with the quote, "They're all nice guys"?
Yeah. What you see is not always what you get, and that's, in this day and age in
always
particular.
stuck with me.
Yeah. Well,
Always
as it
stuck
should.
with me.
Or it should.
You doing any work on the Zodiac Killer?
I've always got my hand in on that one. That one is, I think that is going to be one of, it's like Jack the Ripper. It's never going to go. And I don't know if it'll ever, Jack the Ripper, the Zodiac, I don't know if they'll ever be solved, but I know they will always be an object of fascination.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
Oh,
You know, I just gotta tell you, I hope that we can have you on again, even though that means someone has been, died, killed, or whatever, and you're trying to solve it. But this has been fascinating.
I'd be happy to come back, and
Good
especially
stuff.
if the case that I'm working on now is resolved, I'd be happy to come on and
Okay.
talk about it
And
once
we'd
it's
love
wrapped
to.
up.
We'd love to hear about the resolution.
Yep.
And if there's anybody out there listening right now
Knows
that can
anything.
help Anna, she can be contacted at.
Web sleuths, that's the best way
Oh,
to
yeah.
add any information you have about any crime, actually. Web sleuths is the place.
I'm gonna bookmark that as soon as I learn how to do that.
Technology's
Thank you so much. We will be back to the room wrapping things up in 2 minutes. We're back. What a show tonight. What a show tonight, was it not? A great show.
Oh, what?
And Anna Muma artist. And
She's hot.
we had Anna Muma, the animal trainer.
Activist.
Crikey! That was fantastic. Then we had Anna Muma, the detective.
Oh man, that was so
That was
good.
fascinating. I'd like to end tonight's show with my latest song from my soon-to-be released album, The Chronicles of Shlomo. I think it's really appropriate for this particular time of year. It's kind of in the news now. You know me mostly as a political rapper, but I don't want to be pigeonholed this way. So this is kind of a departure from it. It's more jazzy, upbeat. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to perform for you now, Phlegm and Mucus. Phlegm and mucus, phlegm and mucus. I get it every time I'm sick. Phlegm and mucus, phlegm and mucus. Oh lordy, it sure come out thick. I don't know what to do. I got a cold or a flu. Phlegm and mucus, phlegm and mucus. I wish I could pass it on to you. Hey now! Phlegm and mucus, I get it every time I'm sick. Phlegm and mucus, phlegm and mucus. I hate it worse than post-nasal drip. I don't know what to do. I got a cold or a flu. Phlegm and mucus, phlegm and mucus. I wish I could pass it on to you. I wish I could pass it. I just gotta pass it. I wish I could pass it on to you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Remember, the future is female and it can't get here soon enough. But the present is having a great